There's growing alarm over plunging insect populations with climate change, habitat destruction and pesticides all thought to play a role. But now, scientists say there's another culprit: artificial streetlights. Researchers from the charity Butterfly Conservation counted caterpillars at the sides of brightly lit roads. Compared with similar stretches of unlit roads, caterpillar numbers were reduced by half, suggesting streetlights can affect the abundance of insects, at least on a local scale. The scientists say with insects in trouble, we should be doing all we can to reduce negative influences. But there are practical solutions such as dimming streetlights in the early hours, installing motion sensors, or using color filters to modify the light.
Answer: Option C. Insect population drops 50% near streetlights.
The first 2 years of a baby's life are critical for brain development. In this study, parents were given video-based tips on how best to interact with their babies according to their particular needs. By the age of 3, the baby still had some developmental difficulties, but their social skills had improved, and 2/3 fewer met the criteria for a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder, compared to babies who received standard care. The research charity Autistica said the study was promising and people should not have to wait for a diagnosis for support to be provided. But the National Autistic Society said autism was not a disease that should be cured or lessened. The research team says longer-term studies on more babies using the technique are now needed.
Answer: Option D. Expectant.
Research suggests ADHD is 3 to 4 times more likely to be detected in childhood in boys as they tend to exhibit more disruptive behaviors. The symptoms in girls tend to be more subtle, less hyperactive, more inattentive. The diagnoses gap between males and females appears to shrink in adulthood, but psychologists say the bias can remain. The ADHD Foundation says increased awareness is needed in health and educational settings about how the condition can present differently. A late diagnosis can negatively impact on relationships, careers, and mental health. In England, NICE guidance has been updated to make it easier for doctors to detect women and girls with ADHD. Work to improve neurodevelopmental services is underway in Scotland and Wales. But there are currently no dedicated services for adults with ADHD in Northern Ireland.
Answer: Option D. They can't deal with their work well.
Since the coronavirus pandemic hit the U.S., over 40 million Americans have filed unemployment claims, but some benefited from the crisis already in mid-March. The largest online retailer Amazon announced its plans to hire an additional 100,000 people. A lot of other places are looking for delivery drivers and grocery stores are in constant need of employees. We have gone to a mobile world. We all are shopping online, will buy online, and I think that's probably going to continue. I don't think people are going to be anxious to get out to the stores anytime soon. They've learned the convenience for that. So I think e-commerce is really going to continue to grow, and that means more jobs are in industry.
Answer: Option C. Consumers have learned how convenient it is to shop online.
First there was the keyboard, then the touchscreen. Some tech companies say a wearable pair of glasses could be the next leap in technology, even if it didn't work out for Google Glass. In the future we won't be only limited to our smartphones, when it comes to understanding the world around us. So this is our early investment in that future. The US-based company Snap's investment is this, the Spectacles 3 sunglasses. This third version is smarter than the previous ones. It has 2 cameras. The corner of the glasses lights up when recording video, and allows the wearer to put 3D objects in the video. Here are some flowers. Users can capture up to a minute of video.
Answer: Option D. It is able to make a 1-minute long video. Since 1852, every U.S. president has been a member of one of the country's 2 major political parties, the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. Democrats generally support higher taxes, so they can fund more government programs. Republicans generally prefer lower taxes and smaller government. These 2 parties tend to reflect relatively moderate political views. But there are several other smaller parties on the fringes, including the Libertarian, Constitution, Socialist or Green parties. Or you can just be an independent not affiliated with any party. Third parties are not that big. But they can have a major influence on presidential elections, by taking away votes from the 2 major party candidates, which in some years can be a deciding factor in the race to become president. Answer: Option D. Third parties always play a marginal role in the presidential elections in America.
Washington is a monumental city, a showcase capital with iconic views. And that's because most planned public projects go through the Commission of Fine Arts, a presidentially appointed panel established by Congress in 1910. The idea was to really lift the image of the city as an important international capital, and to really push that idea of dignity and beauty and all these things that you know really contribute to the image of the city.
Answer: Option A. To provide suggestions and guidance about how to lift the image of Washington.